Good afternoon, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Montemayor from Villarreal Elementary. I am going to be reading the actors' parts, narrators, and characters from the play for second grade. This way. Martina the Beautiful Cockroach, a Cuban folktale. This is narrator 1. Martina Josefina Catalina Cucaracha was a beautiful cockroach. She lived in a cozy street lamp in Old Havana with her big, lovable family. Narrator 2. Now that Martina was 21 days old, she was ready to give her leg in marriage. The Cucaracha household was crawling with excitement. Narrator 3. Every señora in the family had something to offer. Tia Cuca gave her una peineta, a seashell comb. Mama gave her una mantilla, a lace shawl. But Abuela, her Cuban grandmother, gave her un consejo increíble, some shocking advice. This is where Abuela whispers into Martina's ear, pss, 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 and Martina reacts completely shocked. You want me to do what? Abuela, you are a beautiful cockroach. Finding husbands to choose from will be easy. Picking the right one could be tricky. Martina, but, how will spilling coffee on a suitor's shoes help me find a good husband? Abuela smiling. It will make him angry. Then you will know how he will speak to you when he loses his temper. Trust me, Martina, the coffee test never fails. Then as she's walking off of the stage, she turns back and says, Nunca! Then Martina follows that by saying, I'm not so sure about this. Narrator 4. Meanwhile, Papa sent El Perico the parrot to spread the word. Papa's telling Perico this. Perico, I want you to tell all of Havana that my daughter is looking for a good man to marry. Only the very best for mi hija Martina. Narrator 5. Perico flew far and wide in search for good suitors for Martina. Here's Perico's part. She's flying through the audience, flapping her wings and saying, Martina the beautiful cockroach is ready to choose a husband. Only the best for Martina. You're going to say that about 2 times, okay? Flying around the audience saying, Martina the beautiful cockroach is ready to choose a husband. Only the very best for Martina. After Perico flies through the room, narrator 6 will wait until she gets back on stage. Once Perico gets back on the stage, narrator 6 starts their line. Soon, all of Havana, from the busy sidewalks of El Prado to El Moro Castle, was abuzz with the news. Narrator 7. As was the custom, Martina would greet her suitors from the balcony. Under her family's many watchful eyes, daintily she sat down and crossed her legs and crossed her legs and crossed her legs. Martina's line. I hope I won't have to wait very long. Narrator 8. Don Gallo the rooster strutted up first. Martina tried not to stare at his splendid shoes. He stared into his reflection as he greeted her with a sweeping bow. Now, Don Gallo, you know you have to do a sweeping bow, like super dramatic, right? So you're gonna go like this. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then you grab your chest and you say, Caramba, you really are a beautiful cockroach. Then you lean forward and you ruffle your feathers, so you go like this, I will look even more fabulous with you on my wing. Martina Josefina Catalina Cucaracha, beautiful muchacha, will you be my wife? Then it's Martina. She's like, coffee, senor? Very coyly, not too into it. Narrator 9. Right on cue, Abuela appeared. With a quick glance at her grandmother, Martina nervously spilled coffee on the rooster's spotless shoes. Here we go, Don Gallo. You get very mad and you yell, "Kikiriki!" Martina's line, "Oh my, how clumsy of me." Super dramatic, okay? You're acting. Don Gallo, "Clumsy cockroach! I will teach you better manners when you are my wife." Martina, gasp, and you put your hand on your heart. "A most humble offer, senor, but I cannot accept. You are much too cocky for me." Then Don Gallo struts his stuff off of the stage. Narrator 10. Don Cerdo the pig hoofed up next. His smell curled the little hairs on Martina's legs. Martina, what an unimaginable scent! Is that some new pig cologne? Don Cerdo, oh no, señorita. It is the sweet aroma of my pigsty. Rotten eggs, radish peels, stinky cheese. Martina Josefina Catalina Cucaracha, beautiful muchacha, won't you be my wife? Narrator 1. Martina left quickly in search of coffee. She did not want to keep this smelly swine around for very long. She returned with a cup of coffee and splashed it onto the pig's shoes. Don Cerdo, you snort very loud. What a tragedy for my poor loafers. Martina is going to cup her hand like this, and she's going to tell the audience a secret, trying for the Don Cerdo not to hear. This pig is really quite a ham. Then she starts talking to Don Cerdo. Calm yourself, senor. I'll clean them for you. Then Don Cerdo says, I say you will. When you are my wife, there will be no end to cleaning up after me. Martina rolls her eyes. Excuse me? A most charming offer, senor, but I must decline. You are much too boorish for me. Narrator 2. The coffee test had saved her from yet another unsuitable suitor. The pig was nearly out of sight when Don Largato, the chameleon, crept over the railing. His oily fingers brushed the little cockroach's beautiful mantilla, or lovely mantilla, sorry. Martina says, first he's gonna play a trick. He goes tap tap and she looks, and then he's on this side. He goes tap tap and she looks on this side, and then he goes up 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 up, and she catches him. She says, you shouldn't sneak up on a lady like that. Then Don Largato goes around in little circles around Martina. I do not sneak, I creep. Then it's narrator 3. He circled around Martina, and for some reason, this guy really bugged her. Martina says, I've had enough creeps for one day. Adios. And she leaves her hand like this. Then, as she's trying to walk away, Don Largato falls on one knee and grabs her hand and says, but I need you. Wait! Then it's narrator 4. The chameleon fell on one scaly knee and warbled. Then Don Largato's line says, Martina, Josefina, Catalina, Cucaracha, beautiful muchacha, won't you be my wife? Then Martina rips her hand out of his and says, let me go see if there's any coffee left, because she doesn't want to keep him around. Then it's narrator 5. This time, she wasn't taking any chances. Martina returned with 2 cups for the lizard. She spilled them on his shoes without the slightest hesitation. Hold on, let me listen to this one. Okay, ready? Again, narrator 5. This time, she wasn't taking any chances. Martina returned with 2 cups for the lizard. She spilled them on his shoes without the slightest hesitation. Don Largato, he's jumping back and he's spitting, right? Narrator 6. Don Largato was livid. Narrator 7. He changed colors 3 times before he finally found his true one. Then Don Largato says, and to think I was going to marry you. Narrator 8. Martina glared at the lizard. You could have heard a breadcrumb drop. Martina snaps her fingers. Food for thought, senor, but I refuse. You are much too cold-blooded for me. Then it's narrator 9. When her grandmother returned to collect the day's coffee cups, Martina was still fuming. Here's Martina. I'm going inside, Abuela. Abuela says, so soon? ¿Por qué, mija? Then Martina says, sí, Abuela. I'm afraid of who I might meet next. Narrator 10. Abuela drew Martina to the railing and pointed to the garden below. Abuela says, what about him? Pointing to a mouse in the garden. So she's going to point to the mouse, Perez. Then it's narrator 1. Martina looked down at the tiny brown mouse, and her cockroach heart began to beat faster. Tiquitin, tiquitan, tiquitin, tiquitan. Then it's Martina. Oh, Abuela, he's adorable. Where has he been? Then it's Abuela. She says, right here all along. Martina says, what do I do? Then Abuela tells her, go talk to him and just be yourself. Narrator 2. Martina handed Abuela her peineta and mantilla, then scurried down to the garden. Narrator 3. The mouse was waiting. Narrator 4. Tiquitin, tiquitan, tiquitin, tiquitan. Narrator 4, one more time. Tiquitin, tiquitan, tiquitin, tiquitan. Then Perez the mouse is talking to Martina. He says, hola, hello, my name is Perez. Narrator 5. His voice was like warm honey. Martina says to Perez, hola, I'm Martina. Perez says, the beautiful cockroach. Martina replies, you think I'm beautiful? Narrator 6. The little mouse turned pink under his fur. Then Perez says, well, my eyes are rather weak, but I have excellent ears. I know you are strong and good, Martina, Josefina, Catalina, Cucaracha. Narrator 7. Then he squinted sweetly. Narrator 8. Martina's heart was full of joy. Then the mouse Perez says, who cares if you are beautiful? Then narrator 9. Tiquitín, tiquitán, tiquitín, tiquitán. Abuela. Martina! Don't forget the coffee! Narrator 10. Martina didn't want to give the coffee test to Perez. Abuela yells at Martina. Martina Josefina Catalina Cucaracha! Martina says, sí, abuela. Narrator 1. Martina knew better than to argue with her Cuban grandmother. Narrator 2. With a heavy heart, she reached for the cup. Narrator 3. But Perez got there first. Narrator 4. Quick as a mouse, he splashed Café Cubano on Martina's shoes. Narrator 5. Now the coffee was on the other foot. Narrator 6. Martina was too delighted to be angry. At last, she had finally found her perfect match. But she had to ask, Martina, how did you know about the coffee test? Then Perez replies, well, mi amor, my love, I too have a Cuban grandmother. And that's the end. Thank you, boys and girls, for watching this video. I hope it helps you to practice at home. Remember to use all the hand gestures, the facial expression, the voice projection. You gotta say your lines loud. You can't be like, well, mi amor, my love. Because the people in the back of the audience have to be able to hear you, okay? We need to project our voices, have to come out. You get me? I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you to memorize your lines at home and practice with your parents and practice in front of the mirror too so you can see what you look like, okay? Thank you.